Hey guys, all right, we got audio. Real quick, I wanted to share this with you because it's a little bit alarming and I don't exactly feel safe. I don't feel the warm and fuzzy right now. And the reason being is because some of these headlines are a little bit alarming, and also it points to a growing problem of a particular shortage that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, or at least actually talking about. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Common sense.
No.
Okay.
Yes, but no. But it's not something you can get. It's something you can get off the shelf of the store.
Okay.
It's something you can buy off the shelf. Well, you can't really buy it off the shelf. You can go to the store and get it, but you can't. They have yet to find a way to sell common sense except at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. But those are certain books that people have to choose to read.
Yeah, that's true.
And then apply that logic. Any idea what the shortage is?
The shortage is that it's going to affect people and nobody.
Oh, it's already affecting people.
Is it?
And in a unique and interesting way.
I feel like it's probably not food related. Watch it be like flu medicine.
Oh, okay, you're close. It is medicine. We need to talk about the flu. And this headline here, especially as we are in Florida for the time being, we'll talk about that later. The Floridians with narcolepsy, a dual nightmare amid medication shortages. So I'm thinking, narcolepsy, that's an interesting choice of words. Nightmare, narcolepsy. Mm-hmm. But I guess if you have narcolepsy, then there's a higher likelihood of you having nightmares because you sleep more often.
Yeah.
Which I would assume that the medication would help you stay awake. Which, think about it. If there's a shortage of medication for narcolepsy, then there's an increase of people out there falling asleep.
Behind the wheel.
In a variety of situations.
That's what I worry about. Like, if you have narcolepsy, how are you allowed to have a driver's license?
Yeah, so I saw this one and it was like pretty intriguing. And I was like, narcolepsy, that's an interesting ailment to have a shortage of medication for. And I was curious, how does that affect them? Mm-hmm. But it's really shocking because the ADHD drug prices are increasing during the nationwide shortage. So now I'm getting some hints of the ADHD. So I assume the ADHD drug and narcolepsy are tied together because that was a separate article that was shared from USA Today. And then it gets worse. Here, you can read that. You can read that one.
Some Mexican pharmacies are selling full bottles of Adderall, but it's actually meth. Oh, fun. Okay. Good times.
It's actually meth. So
is Sudafed PE, according to people.
So about that. So that was shocking. That was alarming. Granted, Tallahassee Democrat, again, this is all coming out of Florida, says stay on guard. Flu cases in Florida amid holiday celebrations, and they are on the rise. Flu cases are increasing according to what these articles are talking about. And it's not just Florida, folks. CDC warns that respiratory illness levels surging across Alabama.
You think it started in Alabama or Florida? Did Florida send it to Alabama or Alabama send it here?
China sent it here.
Okay,
China sent it here, and it probably made its way to New York first. Mm-hmm. It probably made its way to New York first. Let's just be honest. It probably made its way to New York, Georgia, or California first. Like, there was a time when there was a huge influx of Chinese people coming into the U.S. and they were specifically going to Texas.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. It's been a minute, but I do remember that.
And here's the thing. They were going over there to buy up real estate. And
going everywhere in the U.S. to buy up real estate.
Let's see here. So now you can see here. Now this came out in May, okay? Mm-hmm. And it says that there was a bill that set out to restrict Chinese property ownership.
And it
died in Texas. It died in Texas. But
so that means Texas wants them to buy the land because they need somebody who can afford it.
You know, it could have been one of those things where it got beat by one vote maybe. But let's see here. What does it say? The bill introduced in December by Republican State Senator Lois Kolkhorst originally aimed to ban all property ownership by citizens of North Korea, Iran, Russia, and China, making no exceptions for dual citizens or visa holders. It gained support from Governor Greg Abbott, who put the bill on the map by tweeting, "I will sign it." But apparently it didn't make it. And it's crazy because, some people will say this is a form of discrimination. Mm-hmm. But that was back in May. Mm-hmm. And here we are in December. And let me just ask you this. How many people would love to have new neighbors from Iran, Russia, or China? I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying based on what you see and hear in the news and some of the things that are going on, they are telling us that bad, good.
Yeah.
Do you want bad to buy houses in your neighborhood? I don't know. Do you want people bringing their outside money into this country to buy up our real estate, all cash, and then gain ownership over everything and then charge you the most money they possibly can for you to rent it? Look, I'll let you guys answer that in the comment section down below. You don't have to answer.
Okay.
But USA Today says that the ADHD drug prices rise as Adderall shortages leave patients scrimping to fill prescriptions.
So you're just going to see a bunch of over hyperactive children bouncing off walls in schools.
Wait. So Adderall calms you down. Mm-hmm. It can't be the same for narcolepsy. It is the same for narcolepsy. How does that work?
I'm not quite sure.
Amid a nationwide ADHD drug shortage, patients are paying significantly more for medication to help them direct their focus at school, work, and home. Because it directs your focus. It directs your focus. It's not to keep you awake.
No,
it's to direct your focus so you stay focused so you don't fall asleep.
Sure.
The shortage has placed financial pressure on families, forcing them to search for alternatives. Often the only options they can find are expensive brand name drugs. And we talked about the generic brands before and the whole...
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Mexican meth.
The whole scam of that. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe they have a generic brand of Mexican meth. I don't know. Mexi-meth. El-Mex or El-Meth.
El-Meth.
But the upward trend can be seen in the prices retail community pharmacies pay for several popular ADHD drugs, which a USA Today analyst found have outpaced inflation. Yeah, you're paying more for the drugs you need, more than inflation.
Like insulin and like EpiPens. Remember EpiPens going up to like $600 and they're only good for about 6 months? Yeah.
And in some cases, doubled or tripled in price since Adderall fell into short supply starting in October 2022, which... If you want to raise your price, if you want to increase your profit margin, if you want to do less and make more, create a shortage. Keep the demand. Create a shortage. It will ultimately increase the demand, and increased demand allows you to increase your price and your profit. And I'm sure it doesn't cost them more to make the drug. They just don't have it. For whatever reason, they don't have it, which they have plenty of other drugs floating around here.
Well, again, we get a lot of our stuff in from China and Iran and Israel and other places, and when you're having issues there, maybe we're getting...
Well, I got an opinion about all that. Let's see here. So some Mexican pharmacies are selling full bottles of Adderall, but it's actually meth, according to the LA Times. So when you're talking to your Mexican drug dealer, just verify, double check.
Is it Adderall or is it meth?
Yeah. And if whatever it is, just make sure you're paying the right price.
Yeah,
whatever.
Don't get overcharged.
I'm not encouraging anybody here to go buy.
This is not financial advice.
Yes, this is not Mexican drug buying advice. So, as a shortage of Adderall stretches into its second year, millions of patients are still struggling to fill their prescriptions in U.S. pharmacies. But in Mexico, some pharmacies are selling the pricey orange pills over the counter in sealed bottles bearing the names and logos of well-known pharmaceutical companies, probably counterfeit, probably dupes. One problem, they're not real. Some are counterfeits made of methamphetamine, while others contain appetite suppressants, acetaminophen, or caffeine.
Caffeine seems like the opposite of what you want.
Or caffeine.
Yes. It seems like the opposite of what you want.
Or caffeine. So
you're not supposed to give caffeine to hyperactive people.
Let's see. What drugs do narcolepsy people take? And the answer is stimulant, cognitive enhancing medication, antidepressant, and SSRIs.
Is Adderall used for narcolepsy?
Is Adderall used? Adderall, you can use it.
Adderall is used in the treatment of a sleep disorder called narcolepsy. Adderall is a federally controlled substance because it can be abused or lead to dependence. Keep Adderall in a safe place. That's why it's government controlled, because they want you to abuse it. They're making it so you can't abuse it.
Yeah, and then you can support their Mexican companies.
Exactly, the Mexican meth.
So, but real quick, there's a shortage of Adderall, apparently. I didn't know that it was going on. And that's the thing, I didn't know that there was a shortage of Adderall. We've heard about all sorts of other pseudo shortages, potential shortages, pretend shortages if you want to walk through a grocery store and find the open shelf.
Or car lot anywhere and look at vehicles now.
But this is a real shortage that's really affecting people and their health. And wallets because they're charging you more or potentially putting you in a position where it's not available. And even if it were available, you can't afford it because they jacked the price up. And that's a problem. But a bigger problem is how normal this is. Because in my opinion, this entire year and some of last year was primarily focused on pumping this idea, this narrative, this agenda into the minds, into so many different people so that today this feels normal, so that you agree with this. So for instance, hey, all of 2023, recession, job loss, you know, higher interest rates, you know, market crash, like all these bad things, right? But they're not really saying that anymore. They're not really saying that anymore. And what they're saying is inflation has hit the target. The Fed may pivot, rates may come down. And look at all these wonderful and amazing options that people are providing to you to help you finance your life. We've pumped you full of this idea and this thought, this cognitive dissonance, really. It's a cognitive dissonance to force you to believe this mental construct of the fact that this is the new normal. And now they're going to pretend and present to you this solution like they're your friends and gloss over how expensive things are, the availability or the shortage that things have or don't. And if you can get it, you need to get it because there's a scarcity. Forget the price and don't worry about the price because you can finance it. Buy now, pay later, Affirm, credit opportunities, but the interest rates are still high. The APRs are still high. You're never going to pay it off. And then you're going to find yourself in a situation where you need it, you can't find it, and if you did, you couldn't afford it, and you no longer have the available credit to get it. And then what?
Good question.
Then what? That's going to be for 2025. I don't know. 2024 is going to be crazy, but 2025, I don't even know they have planned for 2025 yet. But they're literally herding blind, sleepy sheep, narcoleptic sheep around to agree with their thoughts and ideas and opinions and what they want ultimately in the end. And again, it's a chess game. And you don't play chess with every move. You play chess by playing moves ahead of your moves. And what you see now, today, the move that they made on the board, it's
what was in plan when they started 2020.
Yeah. Wild and crazy stuff, folks. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you are narcoleptic or not, or you had narcolepsy. If you do,
or ADHD.
How are you doing with your availability and getting your medications and your prescriptions and staying current? What are you seeing with prices? I wonder if we will see Affirm hit pharmacies for buy now, pay later, because you can't do food. I want them to let you do it with drugs and medication.
Depends on which drugs, I bet. If it's the ones that can hold you down, then whatever, probably. And,
what drugs could help you?
It's not going to be on cancer medicines or anything like that, or diabetes medicine. It's going to be on things for depression, things for appetite control, like Ozempic.
Oh, wait, we can't talk about, you can talk about that. We can't talk about
anything else. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
We're not allowed to talk about the eating.
Yes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can't do that. So, let me know. And also, how you guys feeling? Hopefully good. Hopefully you guys are going to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You're not getting ill with the flu or C19 or Rona or the new variant JN1 or BA286 or whatever numbers they got, these configurations. I can't even keep up with them anymore. Or this RSV that's floating around now, traveling to Alabama. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Let me know. Drop a comment down below. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you real soon.
Goodbye.